Thursday, the weekend is in sight, so it means it's time for our mobiliser. We're going to start off seated here, legs crossed or stretched out in front, whichever is comfortable. You can bend them up. Key thing, we want the two sit bones to be anchored down into the mat. One hand relaxed. I'm going to reach straight up overhead with the other. So this is a relaxed stretch overhead. We're not actively reaching yet, just loosening up. Sitting tall and using the breathing to bring the stretch in here into the ribs and the back. Deep inhale into the ribs, exhale, pull down through the stomach. Inhaling up and exhaling, flattening down the stomach. And once more. And we relax that arm down. Same thing, other side, reaching up. Hand is in a neutral position, so the palm should be facing in towards the midline. And again, we inhale into the ribs, getting that stretching along the side there. And as we exhale, we're pulling down the stomach, tightening things up. Inhaling, opening up the ribs and the chest. Exhale, tightening down the stomach. So again, a nice relaxed stretch. And we relax that arm down. We're going to revisit the first side here. We're going to actively reach upwards this time, so we're putting a bit of effort into it. So we reach and inhale. And we're going to come slightly over the top. And exhale, relax, back to center. And we reach and inhale. Coming slightly over the top again. And exhale, back to center. Third time. Reach up. Big inhale into the ribs and chest. Coming across, actively stretching and reaching across the body. And exhale to the center and down. All the time as we're doing these stretches, keeping the sit bones anchored into the floor. And reaching across. Staying tall with the body. Keeping the spine long. And exhaling back to the center. Reach up, inhale. And stretch across the top. Keeping the sit bones anchored, exhaling as we come back to center. And third time, reach up, stretching, inhaling and pulling across the top. And relax down. We're coming onto our backs. You can keep the knees bent up or you can stretch the legs out, whichever is most comfortable for you. Starting with the hands here, hands straight up over the shoulders. Spread apart those fingertips and we're going to inhale into the ribs and stretch the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, pull the shoulder blades back together. Keeping the arms straight, the fingers spread. As we inhale, the shoulder blades are spreading wide across the back. Fingertips reaching for the ceiling. And then as we exhale, Shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. Big breath in each time. And focused exhale. Make sure your shoulders aren't rising up towards your ears. Think of pulling them down the back. Last big breath in here. And exhale, pulling down. And from there, keep the arms where they are. Right arm only comes back. Arm stays straight, thumb comes down towards the floor. And we exhale, pulling with the core, bringing the arm back up. Alternating sides. Inhale down, keeping the arm straight. Exhale, pull through the core to initiate the movement up. Switching arms each time. So it's a nice controlled movement and a controlled breath. Last time on each side. Focusing on keeping the arm long rather than getting the thumb as close to the floor as possible. If you're bending the elbow, you lose a lot of this stretch. And speaking of losing the stretch, relax the arms down. Now we're going to peel our spine away from the floor from our hip bridge and pelvic tilt. So pelvic tilt starts, hips are lifting, lower back printing into the mat, and then we peel it away. So the hips lift first, and we're rolling up along. Squeezing with the glutes at the top of the movement, and rounding the shoulders, rolling the spine back down, vertebra by vertebra. So the legs and the glutes are active the whole way through this movement, right to the very end when your butt touches down. And we create that space underneath the lower back, creating that arch, and then flattening it back by tilting the pelvis, lifting the hips, and sequencing up. So rolling or peeling the spine up away from the floor. Squeezing with the glutes at the top of the movement, round the shoulders, and slowly coming down. Trying to feel each section of the back working or moving independently of the others. Nice big breath in and exhaling as I tilt the pelvis, printing into the floor with my lower back, and then peeling away slowly. Feeling the legs starting to kick in now. Coming right up onto the shoulders. Squeezing the butt. And rounding the shoulders, rolling down. Again, keeping slow and controlled. And there we go. From there, taking my left leg across the right, so arm or the ankle is crossed here above the knee. And from here, I'm going to lift that right foot off the floor. That allows me to stretch the butt on the left side, and it's now working my right thigh and lower stomach. Breathing here to try and relax the leg and butt into the stretch. Two more nice big breaths in and out here each time, Try to get the muscles that are under tension to relax. And release the leg down to the floor. And we switch sides. So my right leg now is above my left knee. And I pull with that left leg. So feel it now in the right cheek. If you want to do a little extra work, you can bring the left leg to tabletop, but you don't have to. I'm not going to, I'm trying to relax here. Using the breath, those big breaths in and out. When you inhale, feel where the tension in, and as you exhale, feel as though some of that tension is releasing from the muscle, allowing you to come a little more into the stretch. We've got one more big breath in and out here. And relax the legs down. Windscreen wipers are next. Going to stretch, continue stretching the backside and around the hips. Dropping the knees out to the left. Exhale to center and drop them out to the right. So I'm starting with my feet on the floor. So there's no real load coming in through the sides or through the obliques. Side abs aren't really doing a whole lot of work here. Keeping the shoulders down on the ground as we switch from side to side. Exhaling to center. And dropping the knees out the other side on the inhale. Last time each side. And once we get to the center, we're going to come to tabletop now. Getting that lower back imprinted to start out. Continuing with our windscreen wipers. Keeping that right angle at the knees. Exhale as you come back to center. Inhale as the legs drop to the side. Keeping both shoulders down on the ground. We're looking for control through this movement. So it should be nice and steady. And once more, and this time holding at the outside. So this is a real stretch on this one. Your knee is hitting the ground, take the hand, left knee is hitting the ground. I'm taking my left hand up onto my right knee. Straightening the leg a little bit as well. It allows me to get a little bit more of a stretch in here. And I'm breathing into wherever it feels tightest. For me right now, that's coming across the lower back, a little bit up towards my right shoulder blade. It may be catching you more on the back side, lower back, mid back, front of the shoulder, down the arm a little bit maybe. This one is great because it'll get you wherever you're tight. 2 more big breaths in and out. And then we'll bend the knee and come back to center. Same thing now to the other side. Dropping the knees out. If that right knee is coming to the ground this time, take the right hand, put it up to the left knee. I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but my hips and spine both just cracked and released pressure. And it felt rather wonderful. These should never cause pain. A little bit of discomfort is fine. Pain, definitely not. Again, using the breathing, big breath in to feel where the tension is. And as you exhale, you can stretch out that top leg if you wish to increase the stretch just a little bit more. Remembering to keep the shoulder blades down to the ground. That's the key ingredient here. And one final big breath in and out. And bend the knees. Bring them back to center. Going to give both knees a little hug. Bring them up towards the shoulders. Gently rocking from side to side to massage the muscles along by the spine. Now I'm going to hold my left knee as I stretch my right leg away. Toes pointing towards the opposite wall, or curtains in my case. You can relax the head back if you're lifting it. Really stretching away down through that right hip and leg. And exhale, bring it in. Holding out the right knee this time, letting the left leg stretch away. Big breath into the lower core as you reach with the leg and thigh. Exhale, bring it back. Switching again. Same thing once more in each leg. Inhaling into the lower stomach as we reach away with that right leg. And exhale, bring it back. Left leg, the last time, is reaching away. Inhale into the lower stomach, stretching, stretching, reaching. And exhale, bring it up. Okay, we're over onto our hands and knees. And we're starting out in our neutral position for our cat and camel. Got our neutral position, and from here we're going to push the back up towards the ceiling, chin in towards the chest, tucking the tailbone in underneath. Big breath in, swelling the back with the breath, and exhale to move, pushing the tailbone back, arching the back, creating space under the chin. Big breath in here at the bottom of the stomach. And exhale, chin to chest, rising up with the back, tucking the tailbone in underneath. Tailbone pushing away, arching the back, and lifting the chin. exhale as we move. So on this one, you can isolate different parts of the movement, or you can do the whole movement at once. Whichever way feels better for you. Big breath into the stomach and exhale. Sorry, I should have said into the chest that time. I'm sure you knew what I meant. And once more. Chin onto the chest, tailbone tucked under. Big breath into the back and relax to neutral. From here, taking the feet back and coming down, lowering the hips, stomach, chest and chin. We're into our cobra. So we inhale here, pushing the floor away, lifting the head, the chin, the chest and the stomach. Hips stay as low as you can manage. Make sure the ears are away from the shoulders. Actively pushing down into the floor. Big breath into the bottom of the stomach. And exhale, push back. We're going to come back to child's pose. We're going to take one big breath here. Exhale, come forward. Hips come down. Stomach, chest and chin. Inhale. Pushing the floor away. Looking up at the ceiling. Big breath into the stomach and exhale back. Once more, back to child's pose. Big breath in, exhale forward. Coming right through, down to the floor. Inhale, lifting chin, chest and stomach in that order. Hips stay low, big breath into the stomach. Exhaling back. Big breath into the back. And exhale, coming forwards. Exhaling up. Pushing back. Go to our child's pose. Big breath to the back. Exhaling forwards. Coming right down. Inhale, lifting chin, chest, stomach, hips stay low. Big breath in. Exhale, push hips back. Exhaling forwards. We're going to do 2 more of these. Exhaling up to the ceiling. Inhale to the stomach. Exhale back up, sitting on your heels. Big breath into the back. Exhaling forward. Inhale and push the floor away. Lifting chin, chest, and stomach. Inhale to the stomach. Sit back to the heels. And we're going to come back to neutral. And a quick time check. Great. We have plenty of time for our scorpion. So we're down to our stomachs once again. Arms out to the side. You can have them bent or straight, whichever works for you. So I'm starting with my right leg. I'm going to lift, bend the knee, lift and turn. So think of trying to bring your foot towards your hand. And if you're anything like me, you're going to be miles away from it. That's okay. You can tweak the angle here of your leg, turning the knee up or out or in. Whichever way you feel the most tightness and tension is probably going to be the angle that will work best for you in terms of getting the most benefit from this. You want to pull it back to a point where you can maintain it. You shouldn't be bouncing or fighting to stay stable. So you're pulling back that leg from the hip. It may help to rest the foot on the floor. If that works for you, then by all means do it. You may prefer to keep the leg up in the air. That's fine too. This is all about finding a way that works for you. Each time you inhale, feel where the tension is, and then as you exhale, feel some of that tension releasing. The goal is that with each exhale, you come a little farther into the stretch. I'm going to take 2 more big breaths in and out here. And from there we can relax, come back to center. Nice gentle movement as you're returning to center. Probably pretty relaxed in a strange way. So we're going to try and maintain that state. We want to stay relaxed as we bend the left leg and come across behind. Again, play with the height of the knee and the thigh to find the angle where you have the most tension. And you're going to work with that. Again, using the breath as ever. Take your deep breath in, feel where the tension is. And as you exhale, feel some of the tension releasing. And find yourself coming back a little bit farther into the stretch. So this is both an active stretch and a passive stretch, in that you're actively pulling with the glutes and hamstring to try and bring the hip back. And the quadricep on the front of the thigh, the hip flexors, they're trying to relax. So they're passive. The muscles on the front of the body are passive, the muscles on the back are active. Big breath in, exhale. Allow yourself to come back farther in the stretch. are taking their time with this because these are big muscles and it can take a little bit of time to get them to loosen out and relax. The quads in particular carry a lot of our tension. I'm going to take 2 more big breaths in and out. Focusing on the exhale to try and get that little bit more mobility at the hip. And then we can release and come back to center. And we're going to come back to our neutral position. We're going to flow through cat and cow and cobra. So we're adding in our cobra. So coming from our cat with the chin on the chest. Back is arched, tailbone tucked under. Big breath in. Exhale, pushing the tailbone away. Creating that scoop in the lower back. Looking up and forwards. From here we walk the hands forward and bring the hips forward and down. Bending the elbows to lower the stomach, chest and chin down to the floor. Inhaling here, exhaling, lift the head, chin and chest. Pushing down into the floor, pushing the hips to the floor, shoulders away from the ears, big breath in. And we're coming back to our cat. So just the hips back. Walking the hands back under the shoulders. And we exhale here. Tucking the chin into chest. Pushing the back up towards the ceiling. Tailbone is tucked under. Big breath in. Exhale, pushing the tailbone away. Creating that scoop in the back. Walking the hands forward. And bringing the hips forward and down. Bending the elbows, bring the stomach, chest and chin down to the floor. Big breath in once more, exhaling up. Shoulders away from the ears, hands pressing down into the floor. Pushing the hips down. Inhale to the bottom of the stomach. Exhale. Pushing the hips back. Walking the hands under the shoulders. And chin to chest. Pushing the back up towards the ceiling. Tailbone tucked under. Big breath in. Last time. Tailbone pushed away. Scoop in the back. Looking up. Walking the hands forward, bringing the hips down to the floor, bending the elbows, stomach, chest and chin come down. Inhale, lifting last time. In our cobra, big deep breaths to the stomach. Exhale, coming back. Walking the hands back under the shoulders and relaxing to our neutral. Okay, back could be a little bit tight after all of that. So we're simply going to shift the back upwards and downwards. A little bit of a movement in the tilting of the pelvis and the hips. Simply stretching and working through the movement. Keeping the head relaxed. I'll do this twice more. And relax. Give the wrists a bit of a shake. We've been on our hands there for a few minutes. Good news, hard work is done. We're going to come up to our feet for our final stretch. And it's another lovely relaxing one. So we're tucking the chin down onto the chest. We're rounding the shoulders. And we're going to relax as we come all the way down, rounding the back, letting the arms hang. Knees are slightly bent, enough that we're keeping the tension out of the thighs. Relaxing down. Head is loose and hanging, arms are loose and hanging. You can shift your weight slightly left to right. Give you a little stretch through the sides. All very gentle movements. We're not actively really doing anything. We're not reaching, we're not stretching or straining in any way. Gentle movement from side to side. And lose the movement. We're going to stay in this low position here for another couple of seconds. Big breath in. Exhale, feel the body relax, drift a little lower. Last time, another big breath in. Exhale, feel the body relax. And one more big breath in, and we're going to slowly come back up. Exhaling as we move. Chin stays on the chest until the very end. So slowly rounding the back up. Bringing the hips in over the ankles and knees. Back in onto the shoulders. Slowly taking the chin off the chest. Taking our time with that one. And once you're at the top of the movement, we're going to look to the left. Drop the chin down towards the shoulder. Big breath in. And lift the chin. We're going to look over to the right. Drop the chin. Big breath, and we lift and come back to center. Pressing the two hands together, we're going to reach up for the ceiling with a big breath. Inhaling, stretching for all your worth. Reaching for the corners and reaching for the walls. Last time, hands pressing in together. Big breath in as we reach up. Stretching the fingertips apart, stretching towards the ceiling, towards the corners and towards the walls, and relax. There we go, job done. That's your mobiliser done for this week. Hopefully you're feeling suitably relaxed and ready for the weekend to start as soon as possible.